Hey there, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tales from the Podcast. I'm your host, JB, here with my co-host,
Jack. Welcome.
Jack the Load Master.
Yes, I had to do something with Halloween. I had to do something. Just throw it on you guys. So, what's going on?
It was such a big surprise. You got them all.
I'm your host, Jack, and my co-host, JB. See what I did there?
I do.
Switch it around.
I do. Yeah, talking about switch around, let's go ahead and introduce our new, or I guess they're not new, but our fabulous guest for tonight, who actually gave you a new nickname. And I guess we should probably get started with that, Mr. Andy Imhof. And what was that nickname that you gave Jack?
Wait. How do we start this show off with belittling me? You know,
it's not belittling. It's a pet name. Like JB, JB, your nickname is the Toledo Torpedo, and it's because you once hit a hooker with your car.
True story.
True story.
And Jack, yeah. I gave you a nickname because you have long arms.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's true. That's right. Yeah.
What was talking about name?
It was Jack Reach Around.
You know,
oh, I love it.
You know, normally, guys, I would be upset, but you know what? When you got it, you fucking got it.
Last night on Pardon My Fork, I called myself the Sultan of Segways. I will forever regret saying that. We were already like a bottle of wine deep, though, so you know, shit happens when you party naked.
All right, so tonight we have the Sultan of Segways on himself, Mr. Andy Imhof.
Yeah. and Jack Reach Around and hooker hit by hooker.
Semen on her. Oh god,
I mean,
I love it already.
Let's just go through all the belittling names that you guys have given me over the last 2-3 years. So that's fine.
I think we got enough to fill at least 5 minutes if we talk about the last week.
Hey, I don't want to talk about that though. I want to talk about today's movie.
Yo, yes. And as you saw in the Halloween intro for this episode, we are going to be reviewing this year's Adam Sandler movie, Hubie Halloween, which is directed by Stephen Brill and written by Tim Hurley and Adam Sandler.
And so Steve Brill is doing, he's been the director for a few of these Netflix only Adam Sandler movies, right?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Adam Sandler pretty much like he has this group that goes with him, and like I'm not gonna like go into a lot of detail about every one of these actors or actresses unless somebody wants to mention something, just because every one of these people are just like so iconic. It's pointless. It's like, what do you want me to do? Tell you what Ray Liotta's been in? Like,
right.
You see him on TV all the time.
And this is a star-studded. It seriously, like as we go through, it was sort of like watching old Adam Sandler tropes with the original actors all throughout this movie. It's almost impressive.
But they didn't do "You Can Do It." They never did that. They didn't. If you notice, that was not through. He does it in every movie, Jack, and that wasn't there.
2 on the nose, my friend. 2 on the nose. You know, you got to mix it up a bit, right?
Right. Okay, wait,
That is a
Justin.
question we need to get to as well.
Justin, listen.
I know.
Okay, he knows. Okay, God. Okay, so yes, I do. You know what? Fuck you, Ron. I love Kevin James, and I would love to work with Kevin James. Don't be salty.
Whatever. So
That dude,
let's go ahead.
Bro, seriously? Come on.
Well, all right. Let's think about like what Kevin James has really done in the last while here that you can actually sit down and really. What?
I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, what did you say was amazing?
Zookeeper.
Zookeeper. Okay. What about Paul Blart?
Amazing.
Paul Blart 2?
Not so amazing.
Okay. All right. We got Sandy Wexler.
Didn't see it.
That's a good movie. It's not. I mean, listen, the Adam Sandler getting hooked up with. I don't want to spoil the movie for anybody, but like that part, the love interest, it did not work out. However, I thought Sandy Wexler was hilarious.
To each their own. You know, there's a place for all these movies. Just because I might not be a fan of all of them doesn't mean, you know, the next person isn't.
So what?
But I think we can all agree that Grown Ups 2 was pretty bad.
So you're basically saying that their place is in the trash. I got you.
Yeah, you know, there's a hierarchy to it.
Wait, why? Okay, maybe Grown Ups 2 wasn't amazing because Rob Schneider wasn't in it. You know, I mean that if he would have been in it, but he was dealing with his wife that was having a baby at the time. So therefore, you know, it wasn't amazing. God, dude, Justin, stop.
Shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up. Everybody, by the way, tonight I'm doing the comments, or I'm supposed to be doing, and he's going to do the pictures. So my hands are just going to go in my lap for a reach around and just sit to myself while he does everything.
That's where they belong, like a good bitch, Jackie. Somebody's getting a little salty, huh, Jackie Boo? So let's go ahead and talk about some of the people in this movie. So we got Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Julie Bowen, Ray Liotta, Steve Buscemi, which I'm going to say right now is probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider, Maya Rudolph, Tim Meadows, Michael Chiklis, June Squibb, George Wallace, Kenan Thompson, Shaquille O'Neal, Ben Stiller, Jackie Sandler, and there's still more. Like it's crazy the amount of star power that is behind this to be realistic.
Yeah.
I think every
COVID.
What? No, it was before COVID. It was before COVID because the kid who played his son in Grown Ups 1 and 2 died 4 days before production of this film. So they finished this film last year. Oh, by the way, that character he was supposed to play was going to be the kid that he worked with that bullied Hubie. That was going to be his character. Just a little fact.
Gotcha.
I never would have guessed. I knew the kid died, but I didn't know that much about him. That's impressive, the knowledge that you have on him. I'll give you that. So, anyways, Jack, why don't you go ahead and talk about this movie a little bit?
Oh, Jack, I'm sorry to interrupt. If I may, I just want to give my quick synopsis.
Go for it.
A high-functioning man who's very much on the spectrum learns to love the people around him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hubie Halloween.
There it is. Go ahead and roll credits.
They're done. like take my job. Like, you know what? Here we go. Here this is what we'll do. Here you go. Here you go, guys. I'm just here.
Well, I think there's a little bit more to that. So, Jack, why don't you go ahead and give us an actual nice little solid walkthrough here?
Okay, so basically, like Andy said, this guy is obviously on a spectrum and he has his issues, and he's actually the sweetest guy in town, and he cares about every single person. I would say he's not a hypochondriac, but maybe a hypochondriac in the fact of like the boy who cried wolf. he is that guy in town. He just cares about everyone. He gets picked on throughout this whole movie, and you find out through his whole life, no one's really liked him because he's been weird. And like it just had a really lot of good moral values about somebody, people think they're weird, that they're actually really good on the inside. And and towards as we go through the movie, there's these killings that you think are happening, and you have his sweet old mother, who obviously does not know the definition of boner, because it is quite hilarious how they used it, and we will talk about that throughout here. You have the creepy, sultry voice of the radio narration throughout the whole thing. And once you find out who the actual narrator is quite fucking hilarious. That was probably one of the most funniest parts. And so as these people, you start realizing the people that are hurting Hubie and discriminating him and just like, I'm talking like belittling the shit out of this guy. Like there is no bars hold. Like it's full on fuck. Like let's fuck this guy up, and they try to. And you know what? They probably give the guy PTSD, honestly, throughout his whole fucking life. Like that's why he doesn't really go out. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so you get towards the end, and do I spoil it here, or do we talk about it up to the spoiler?
Talk about it. Up to the spoiler.
Yeah, afterwards. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, the story ends up being that it's a moral story of not judging a book by its cover, and to see someone's inner character and how much they actually do care for people. And it's really good. I will say it's probably like, the typical Adam Sandler feel-good movie family type of film. But this one, I think in the last 10 years is a lesson that I think all, self-entitled teenagers and kids really need to watch. It's a perfect example of don't judge a book by its cover, and it has a good story. I loved it.
Fair enough. You're definitely allowed to. That's for sure.
So, JD, if I may, I know that's Jack's job, but I would really like to hear a little bit of your synopsis. Quite frankly, can you give us just a quick rundown?
I had the nice one.
I can actually cut this down just like Andy did. This is 90 minutes of making fun of an autistic kid, and then he's the mayor and marries the hot girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, these people have no souls, so
right. And like, I'd argue that he's naive and gullible. Yeah, I would say that too. But I think that also comes along with like what Jack was saying with it being on the spectrum. They kind of go hand in hand together.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, listen, it's a weird. It's weird because Adam Sandler's playing that shticky like ooh boo guy that he plays, but then it got strangely into some areas where you're kind of going, what's happening with this guy? I mean, obviously he has superhuman reflexes and strength. We learned that early on in the movie because people are throwing shit at him, and he's dodging it almost like he's in front of a green screen.
Yeah, he's almost like twisting his bike and everything. It's insane.
Oh yeah, whipping that bike around backwards, riding that thing backwards, so that he can look at the kids that are throwing shit at him and be like, and then turn it around and ride off. I mean, he's got some super. Here's what it is. This movie is set in a universe where everyone has superpowers, even people who are technically disabled.
I don't know about everybody having superpowers. Like there's a lot to it that's really weird. That
you have middle school kids throwing cinder blocks. Okay.
Oh, not only that, but like, is that an axe that you've seen get thrown?
Right. You have his mom, elderly, overweight mom, who's like shuffling along with her arms out, somehow is able to snatch people into the dark at great speed. It looks as though she has, I don't know, a bungee cord.
Wait. You just gave away. Are we getting to that?
Well, we're talking about his mom real quick. So
we're talking about his mom. It's not a spoiler exactly. All I'm saying is people seem to have some kind of extra abilities. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're completely right, especially with that. But I know Jack
might
really
be a superhero movie. I just realized that.
it might be your favorite superhero movie.
Not my favorite, no, but it
Right?
might be.
Nothing's better than Meteor Man, damn it.
Meteor Man is amazing, and if you don't agree, fuck you, Ron.
Why aren't we bringing up
Why do you-
Orgasmo?
Why do you direct that at Ron?
Because he always
What the
says
fuck
something
did Ron
towards me
do to you?
with anything I say. So I just had to cut it down. I had to cut it before he got there.
Ron, let us know what you think about Orgasmo in the comments. Is he the best superhero?
Orgasmo over
Mhm.
Meteor Man?
Fuck
No. I don't know.
No.
We'll see what Ron says here in a few minutes. So while we're waiting on Ron to go ahead and give us his opinion, Jack, I know you're just dying to talk about some of these shirts that Adam Sandler's mom was wearing in this.
Oh, absolutely. If you can read this, you're in fart range. I think the most classic one was the one that they first saw because boner donor and Hubie didn't know what it means. So like during his speeches to these teenagers later on, he's like, you guys are being real boners, or something in that sense. It was just
It's my boner.
Yeah.
Lending even more credence, by the way, to the idea that he is on the spectrum. He doesn't drive. He has a supermarket job. The cops basically just, put up with him because he comes with stuff all the time.
Yeah.
He's got a speech impediment. I mean, at a certain point, like, when are we just going to admit that this is a movie about an autistic man?
It really is. And by the way, Ron joined in and says he's not the best superhero, but he's up there.
That's good. Okay, we can agree with that, Ron. That's cool. No, I think you know what? It really is. It's an autistic movie. It's a movie
It's an autistic movie.
I mean,
now Jack, I want you to make your point, but I'd also like to make the point that we are not in any way, shape, or form using autism as a derogatory term. We're using it as a matter of fact.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah, right. And we're not making fun of it either.
It's not a fault; it's a feature.
Yeah,
everybody in this movie did. We don't have to.
Yeah.
I would actually argue that Julie Bowden's character was autistic. I don't see any other reason why she'd be attracted to Adam Sandler.
Well, hold on.
Have you ever seen the movie The Goods? There's a thing like that too.
Us good-looking guys who are weird do get the girl in the end sometimes. Okay.
Are you implying that you're on the spectrum? And then are you also implying that you have a girlfriend?
I do not have a girlfriend, no. But I say we sometimes do get the girls in the end. And I do have Tourette's, so fuck off.
That doesn't put you on the spectrum of autism.
Well, I mean, it's
entirely different. No, it's nothing alike at all.
Do you really have Tourette's, or do you just like to swear in public?
He just wants to swear in public, and then he plays off that Tourette's is the same as being autistic. We're gonna have a Halloween episode.
I'm not.
Christ. I want to see you walk into a grocery store and you've forgotten your mask, and you get to the door and you're just like, shit, piss, fuck ass balls, cock, and then look at someone and be like, sorry, Tourette's.
No, actually, I got it from just other stuff. I'm not going into this. Fuck you guys. Fuck you for baiting me. Fuck you, Andy. You know what to do. I'm not doing it. No. This movie is a movie about autism and autism awareness, if anything, for people to watch it. And if your child does have autism, this is a movie for him to see, to know that you can come out on top regardless of what is going on.
The mayor of a largely populated town and marry the hottest girl there.
Yeah, it's basically a story about how if you're just your own authentic self, you'll suddenly stop being hated and be loved by everyone. Like, stop being hated by everyone, because that was a thing. Every single person in this town hated him except for one person. And then in the course of just like weeks, now everyone loves you because they all admitted that they were just hateful bigots.
And my question is, were they going to die in the end? Like, was his mom gonna?
I think the ending person, like, we'll get to that when we go to talk about like our final thoughts about that. We'll talk about the ending and spoil it so that everybody knows right now that it's a completely safe conversation now. But once we get to the end, we'll spoil it more. But like, I guess let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the things that actually were going on in this movie. Like, for instance, this is probably the first time in quite a while where I actually get to see Kevin James, because it does seem like he doesn't really work much anymore. But he definitely took a whole new appearance with this one. I kind of like it, though.
The beard is actually real, by the way.
I was about to say, do you guys think the beard's real or no? And I think it is real.
No, he said it in an interview. I watched a couple of days ago. He said, "Yeah, the beard's real. It's all real."
I think he should join the Beard Bro Club.
I think you should get a mullet and sunglasses, because I think you might be able to pull off the Kevin James.
Fucking A, bro. You're saying that because I'm fat, so.
Hey, we all have our weaknesses, Andy. We all have our weaknesses, okay?
Yeah. Mine just happens to be delicious food that I cook myself.
Which I can't blame you.
To be the gym.
Man.
By the way, this is total side note, you guys. This total side note, but I know that a lot of people will do the like where they squared off with their knuckles. Do you know what I'm talking about? I've never done that. I've always given a full salute.
Yeah, full way. All the
I
way.
want people to think that I want to hit them so bad that my fist has a boner.
For real. So, in fact, on this episode, Andy may be the boner donor.
If anybody asks Ron, I am his boner donor. That's right, baby.
Ooh, there we go.
Oh.
Oh man. So we talked about like his weird strengths and stuff when he's doing the bicycle and everything, but we don't talk really too much about like how he actually acts around Halloween. So we get to see that.
Wait. Hold on. One more thing we forgot to mention. The sonic screwdriver thermos. Amazing. I need one of those.
The thermos. It did everything.
Straight up.
You know what? That was a really, really good bit of comedic relief, because you never knew. Like, I just never knew what he was going to do with the thermos. The part that really got me was he had used the thermos for several different things already, which was very bizarre. I think he'd already used it as a flashlight, and he'd use it as like a megaphone. So he comes rolling up on a home where he wants to take some screws out of some boards so that he can get into the home. And the absolute last thing I expected him to do was to pop a power driver out the end of his thermos. I have to admit, when he did that, I let out an audible laugh. I was just like, what the fuck? How is this even happening right now?
Thought of everything. You didn't think about that when he turned the vacuum on?
Right?
I mean, listen, the vacuum was funny, but once we're halfway through the movie and I'd almost forgotten about the power thermos, and then all of a sudden he just bust out the screwdriver, it caught me off guard, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, fair enough. It was pretty cool. So I guess no,
not
it wasn't
cool. Not cool. It was funny. I would never use that comedic trope. It was stupid as fuck. He had waited long enough between using it that it was funny to me. Okay, I'm not saying that it was a good idea. It was one of the stupider things about the movie, but just I hated it, and he used it like 4 or 5 times, and I hated it. And then he went for maybe 15 minutes and never did anything with the thermos for like 15 minutes, and then he busts out the screwdriver, and I was just like, motherfucker, all right, you got me. You know, you fucking earned that one.
You're right.
Yeah. That's for sure. And it was kind of weird, because I think there was like one scene where he actually, at the spoiler part, he does actually have soup. But it is definitely odd.
When he showed up to the diner and he had, what did he have? It was split pea soup, matzo ball soup, and there was a third one that he had put into the thermos, and he mixed it up together.
I don't remember what kind of
he put in some fucking boys.
Like
he put
ramen
in
or some shit like
Worcestershire sauce.
Yes, that's it. And but what gets me, I'm sorry, like even like someone that's slow, if a girl is coming on to you like that, tell me anything, Hubie. Anything, bro. I mean, you dude, like what the fuck, dude? Like she's handing you that good stuff right there, man, and you just want him to grab it, and then at the end he makes out with a camera, and she makes out with a TV. So
man,
I mean,
in this day and age, are you really gonna check Are you really going to catch those rape vibes? I mean, seriously, like, don't ever take the hints. All right. Girls are always like, I'm dropping these hints. Don't drop hints, bitch. Tell me straight. I need your written consent. Do not drop hints. I want your written consent. Hubie is the smart one. Not us for thinking that oh, Julie Bowden, she's coming on to me, man. I'm gonna do all this stuff. No, Hubie's a smart one for just being like, yo, tell me what you want. You want this D, or do you just want to be friends? I need a written consent form.
And he pretty much waited for that.
He's very progressive in that way. Hubie's not getting me too'd. He's just like, nah, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
I bet he actually thought
Andy,
about
I
that.
just love your opposite opinion of everything we say. It's great. I love it. Like, you bring it to the realists, and it's like you bring it to somewhere where other people are like, you know what? Andy's actually right.
well, he is. He definitely is.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not.
It's like
I might be exaggerated.
You know, yeah, but like I make sense. But then you take it to a whole nother reality that makes even more sense than what is reality. So that's why it works.
Makes more sense than reality.
I have bad news for you guys. This is the reality we live in.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Yeah, that's true.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay.
I'm curious, honestly, what Ron Purdy is thinking about my comments. I'll just, if Ron wants to comment, I would like to hear from him.
I'm sure we'll hear from Ron again.
I'm sure we will hear from Ron.
Oh yeah. So let's talk a little bit about this house. So for when they actually had, Hubie's house and everything, it's probably one of the coolest things about this movie, especially, people like, especially like Jack and I, and I'm sure Andy too. You have to love Halloween, man. You know. So, this house and the way it was decorated was fucking amazing. It really was.
Like, it looks amazing, and I would love to have a house like that. But what would piss me off is like the day after Halloween, just like the day after Christmas, when your parents would say, "Go take all the lights down." Dude, you know how much shit that is? Like, as an adult, you're like, fuck. It's fun to put it up, but taking it down.
I have to admit, that was one of the funnier parts for me early on in the movie when she was like, Hubie, his mom, Hubie, Halloween has always been one of your favorite holidays. And he's like, well, we're Jewish. So, I mean, that kind of rules out Christmas, Easter. What else? I mean,
I didn't catch that. I didn't catch. Oh, shit. I didn't catch that one.
That's like a normal Adam Sandler trope. Like he always at some point acknowledges the fact that he's Jewish.
Okay, by the way, can we please just reference a few of the tropes that he had in here? Because that was the thing that really, I kind of dug about this. So the very first part of the movie, somehow he got, holy shit, my brain just completely, yes, thank you, Ben Stiller. Yes. He somehow got Ben Stiller for only the first 45 seconds of the movie playing his role from Happy Gilmore. Super, super funny. When I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's funny.
Oh, shit, I forgot. He was that asshole fucking orderly. Oh, my God.
How did you forget that? He had the exact same everything.
Dude, okay, look. I watch horror movies, not like comedy. I grew up with
the comedy films from your childhood.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but
I'm not looking for excuses, bro. Like if this makes a Goofy movie reference, you need to be willing to jump into that shit.
Yes, obviously. I am so sorry. I didn't know. I had no idea. Yeah,
my way to get to a Goofy movie reference is if we could figure out a connection to Pauly Shore.
The Leaning Tower of Jesus.
There you go.
Oh my gosh! So yesterday, I'm taking us off on a tangent. I apologize. Yesterday,
go ahead.
I did this segment on Pardon My Fork where I had made up food products and I was seeing if people would say yes or no to eating them. It was really fun. The audience got involved. We had a ton of comments coming in. We had Liz Priestley from Concrete Cowboys, a new movie coming out. And we were talking to her, and she has an aversion to Cheese Whiz. But one of the products that I brought up, one of the fake products that I wanted to see if people would eat was blue cheese in a can. And it did start this whole conversation about Goofy movie.
Really?
I would straight up eat blue cheese out of a can. I love blue cheese on wings.
Like straight up, like just like right out of the can. You'll just eat.
No, not like that. But I mean, I'd pour it on, on my chicken wings, of course.
So you wouldn't mind having it out of a squeeze can, right?
That's blue cheese like dressing, though. That's not just blue cheese.
But it would.
Yeah, it kind of changes when you really break it down.
I'm in, Andy. All right, give me the blue cheese whiz. I'm in.
All right, perfect.
Fucking Jack's gonna be shitting like crazy. It's gonna be all fucking gross and weird. Oh.
This is how you can tell
about the whole thing too. Thanks, Andy.
We're all over 30 because the first thing you go to is like, yeah, that's gonna give me weird shits. You're middle aged.
Straight up, like, and it's like it's either gonna it'll start out with the lower backache, and you think you're like fucking dying, then you get an ibuprofen for that pain, and then you're gonna have cramps due to the acetaminophen within the ibuprofen, and then it's gonna come out, whoosh, and then you're gonna be like, "Fuck, I'm old."
Right.
You know what's gonna happen first?
Anti-diarrheals for years.
Jack, you're gonna be laying in bed and you're gonna pass gas so fucking hard, and it's gonna relieve so much pressure.
And God, yeah, that feeling is amazing. Oh my God.
You're gonna think it's over, but that was actually just like releasing the cap from the floodgates.
It's gonna be so bad. Please, Andy, please give me message me privately later. Let me know how much it's going to cost to create this game. Please.
We'll do it live. I'll live stream all night for you guys, so you can watch me go through the horror and pain. And I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh God.
All right, so I have to just do a quick shout out. It's looking
right now.
it's actually looking like we're gonna do this Halloween. I don't know if it's actually gonna happen, but like we're 75% of the way there. I'm gonna be joining a buddy of mine who's a Twitch streamer, pretty successful. He's got a stream called Brunstad.tv, and he is wanting to do the Toe of Satan challenge. Do you guys know what that is?
Is that like one of those like hot bean things or whatever?
It is an ultra spicy lollipop, and the challenge is to keep it in your mouth for 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Most people vomit before the 5 minutes are up.
Seriously? Like I videotaped two of my friends doing a Pacquiao chip challenge when it was a thing back before COVID, and my friend threw the fuck up after. Like it was bad. Like my grass was black.
Oh God!
Yeah.
So is that what we're gonna have to resort to now to get viewers? We're gonna have to start eating weird shit online.
He wants me to do it because I kind of famously can handle my spicy. I don't know anything about the Toe of Satan. I've refrained from watching any videos. I don't even want to, because like people told me, oh, go and watch the LA Beast video. But then I click on it and the thumbnail is him just like puking into a toilet and drool's just hanging down his face. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think if you wanted that, you could just make yourself watch 2G1.
I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine.
I think I'm going to be fine. It's going to be spicy. It's going to kind of suck, but at the same time, it'll be an experience. I like spicy, quite frankly. My wife made some salsa that was just, it was ridiculous. I mean, it would seriously turn a potato into Einstein. I mean, this stuff was so fucking spicy. And she couldn't handle it. She was like, well, I'm going to throw some other garden veggies into this to tone it down. I honestly wish she'd kept out a little bit. I have a 1 million Scoville hot sauce in the fridge that I use. It's called Whoop Ass. It's the habanero Whoop Ass. And I love it. I eat that shit all the time.
Let's do it.
It's not going to be fun, the Toe of Satan, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun.
You know what, Andy?
I have a real chance
I will come on your show one day if you're down. I absolutely love hot sauce. I eat hot sauce on every fucking thing. I would be down to go on your show to do a hot sauce challenge, and I'll buy whatever kind you tell me to buy. And yeah, I'm down, bro. I'll do it.
I'll have to double check because this is on, like I said, a friend of mine's stream. But I bet I could have something shipped over to you. They're not expensive. Here, I just sent you the link, Justin. It's called The Toe of Satan. It's a 5 million Scoville sucker, but I think it's going to be fun.
It doesn't look very fun in the pictures. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of fire on it, and then an eye and a coffin. Like everything about it points to scary and bad.
You know, dude, tomato, potato, it's all just kind of the same, right?
Tomato, potato. Yeah. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Send it to me. Forward it to me so I can see it, Justin.
Oh, yeah, I will here in a little bit once we go to our commercial break in a moment.
And by the way, that is a Hubie Halloween quote, tomato, potato.
It really is. Going off what you said a little bit ago, though, with you going onto a Twitch show, this is actually the first episode where we are actually going live on Twitch ourselves. So if you guys want to check us out, just go and look up Tales from the Podcast, no space between none of the words, and we're pretty fucking easy to find. The logo gives it away.
Bro,
honest.
During the commercial break, I'm going to go and look it up.
Ooh. You can send me naughty pictures.
Yeah, son.
So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this movie, though, before we go to our break. So, we obviously said that, we had Kevin James in here. We have Ray Liotta in this, which he has a pretty interesting scene when we see Hubie going to look at a gravestone later on in the movie. Mm-hmm. And it seems like he's finally like what he's the one. Is he the one that actually started the puby thing to him, or was that somebody else?
No, that was Ray Liotta. Yeah,
Ray Liotta.
So he started calling him puby, which I will 100% admit that this would have been so much more funny if they weren't picking on an autistic person the entire time. It was like a regular person, because it's like I feel like a dick anytime you're like, well, this part was a little bit funny, but then it's like, what is it funny? Make fun of an autistic person? And it's like, oh no, it's not. But
you know what? We did it in the 90s with fucking Waterboy.
You haven't stopped.
So hold on a second. I would argue that Adam Sandler, his character doesn't know that he's on the spectrum. I would argue that the character thinks that he is just, he's just sort of a guy that's doing guy things, even though he's obviously a 57-year-old virgin. And for whatever reason, this chick is into him. And by the way, so listen, guys, I'm not trying to be derogatory, okay? But if a chick that good looking is into a guy like this, you have to assume one of two things. One, he's got piles and piles and piles of money. Two, he's very close to death. Okay, so
no.
I'm just.
I'm gonna give my fine.
Just hear me out. I'm just saying that kind of it jumps the shark. It takes me. My suspension of disbelief ends right there, where she's like, I've always been in love with you, and he's like, okay, no, that's not how it works. Not unless she herself is somehow slower than the average bear, if you know what I mean. I'm not trying to be a douche. I'm just saying, there's a little something kind of like why would she be into him? Maybe he has a family fortune. They've been in the Salem, Massachusetts area for a long time. Maybe his house is worth $10 million. We don't know. That happens in LA all the time, where these rundown piece of shit homes that are owned by trash people are worth piles and piles of money, and then their family kind of pounces on it. It could be any of those things, but my suspension of disbelief stopped there, where Julie Bowen, who, by the way, how do I say this tactfully? Not unattractive, is now into a dude that is clearly on the autism spectrum. Once that happens, you have to kind of ask yourself, what is this person after? Because this is not going to be an amicable partner. This is not going to be a partner that is equal in what is happening in the relationship. They'll never hold down a job that makes piles of money. It's never going to be. you know, he's never going to be able to drive. Like, listen, guys, he doesn't drive. Okay. He's lived with his mom his entire life. If he can't drive, he can't hold down a real job. The grocery store is as good as it gets. Mayor, I doubt that. I think that's an honorary title, just like they would give to like a dog or a turtle. So obviously, you know, she's in it for something. What is she in it for? Jack, tell me honestly, truly, don't try to be cute. Don't try to be like, oh, well, I'm all, you know, social, whatever. Be real for a second. Think about this dude. Pretend that he is a person that you grew up with, and then he ends up with the most capable woman in town. What is that going to tell you?
Okay, well, while I discuss this and while I think about this, let's head to our commercial break, and I will give you my answer when we return.
Oh yes, it's Ladies Fright. We tell spooky stories and try to figure out what about them makes them so scary.
Using personal anecdotes, psychology, and sociology, Lauren, Maggie, and Jackie dive into urban legends, ghost stories, and other tales that give us a good fright.
'Cause this is Ladies Fright.
Oh, what a fright.
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts.
Do you like the Tales from the Crypt? Do you love the Tales from the Crypt? Even if you've never seen an episode, this podcast is for you. I'm Melissa, your ghostess with the mostest, and host of the Good Evening Kiddies podcast. Each week, I break down another great episode from the TV series The Tales from the Crypt. Audio clips are included, so even if you haven't watched that episode, you're good to go. There are also special guests, trivia, mini movie reviews, and much more. What are you waiting for? Check out the Good Evening Kiddies podcast on Podbean, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. That's the Good Evening Kiddies podcast. Check it out today.
Hello, this is the Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, but you can just call me Frank. And when I'm not stomping around the woods throwing rocks at hunters, I like to listen to the Paranormal Punchers podcast. That's right, Paranormal Punchers. They talk about all things paranormal, and they're hilarious. Go find them on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and ParanormalPunches.com.
Everything about our food is changing. The way we cook it, the way we eat it, and the way we share it. And that's why I'm encouraging you to come and check out Pardon My Fork. Conveniently packaged in hour-long episodes and available anywhere you find your favorite podcasts and at PardonMyFork.com. We are talking to home cooks, chefs, Food Network stars, and world food champions. So cleanse your palate and come and get a heaping helping of Pardon My Fork.
Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture, navigated by the Deadites. We are the world's greatest electroshock band, we destroy monsters, we drink booze, and we win championship belts. If you're not listening to Trick or Treat Radio, here's a taste of what you've been missing.
There's 3 guarantees in life. What are they? Death, taxes, and Trick or Treat Radio every Friday morning.
This is one of the most convoluted movies I've ever seen in my life.
I'm fucking trying, man.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you took a shit on a pile of shit.
But you shit on him for liking what he likes.
Yeah, well, it's my job.
This podcast is now banned in Germany.
It's me, Giovanni Lombardo Radici.
Shut up. I call bullshit. I demand someone to bring me the face of Lindsay Lohan.
If I had genitals, I would definitely bang her.
Oh, wait. She's a great big fan person.
You just hit the jackpot.
This is a weird movie, huh?
It had action, it had suspense, it had great characters, it had great acting.
I'm gonna strangle you with my jockey shorts.
I don't like mobster movies.
All right, well, here's my take. You're a sick fuck.
Thank you. Now shut the fuck up and let me talk.
Have you ever seen 2001?
The box, right? The box and the monkey.
Available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and TrickOrTreatRadio.com.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants, quoting video games that don't have dialogues, shabibers, tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Reductopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
like me,
worry not, gentle listener. Next week, we'll have a whole new host.
A problem.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Dorkening and Inebriar podcast networks, with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher,
Or any podcast player cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all things that make growing up awesome.
And welcome back to Tales from the Podcast.
Hey.
So,
speakers on.
okay.
Speakers on.
Jack, I think your speakers are on, buddy.
So,
Jack, I'm
My
just going to pause
speakers
you
are
for a
on?
second there. I'm going to stop you there for a second. Motherfucker, why are you not wearing headphones? I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying.
Well, there's something, as you know, there's some professional people out here, and then there's some people that are, what do you call it, amateurish?
During this commercial break, a guy that I haven't spoken to in probably 10 years, he's a car guy, old car buddy of mine from Portland, reached out to me and he said, "Hey man, looks like you're a successful blogger now, a food blogger and barbecue competitor. I'm very impressed, and your dick is very large." And I just said, "Thank you very much, my friend." Anyways, besides all of that, that's not the point. The point is, he reached out to me and he said, "I need some advice about a smoker." And I've been answering his questions about his smoker during this break. You couldn't have thrown in some fucking headphones? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Nothing to say.
All right, you fuckheads. So, to get back to Andy's question,
problems are getting you to look at the camera and not have your speakers on.
it's something every fucking week. You know what? I can't make you happy. Okay, welcome to my fucking world, brah.
Why don't
You know, I run a fucking company. I'm sorry that I got so much shit on my brain, for an important meeting in the morning that could change my fucking life. I didn't go and get headphones. I'm so fucking sorry, Andy.
Well,
This is me kissing your ass.
Listen, bro, I'm not your dad. I don't make these decisions for you.
Okay, so to go back to your question before the commercial break, I think a person like her, Miss Bowden, would like someone like that because maybe they do
Enough
see
to have sex with them.
No, I think they see the genuineness, and also being a virgin at 57 years old. To some women, that is a notch on their belt that they would love to take. So therefore, if you want to take it into that Me Too thing, he was trying to stay away from it, but she got him.
So you're implying she's the kinky one who tries to get with autistic people?
Yes, absolutely. She might have a thing for it.
I don't know. I can't. I personally can't follow that. That is one of the things
I agree with him. I agree with him. You know what? I never am going to yuck someone's yum. And if that's what she's into, that's what she's into. So you know what? Point to you, Jack.
Thank you.
I'm going to disagree. I can't imagine them having like a legit relationship, like doing it, everything. Like there's no way. There's no way it could be a normal relationship. And going back to what you said before the break, Andy, when you're like, oh, there's only two ways. No. There's only two ways. You had that part right, but you messed them up. Having money or having a huge dick.
Mm-hmm.
So that is true.
So I'm going to have to go with saying that Adam Sandler was playing a huge dick autistic person, and she found out.
So are you JB? Wait. JB, are you insinuating that autistic people men have small penises?
No, the opposite. He's insinuating that they have large penises.
Oh. Hi. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not saying it. I'm not doing it. It'll haunt me in 20 years. Fuck you. I'm not doing it.
Say it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Why?
Because it's going to haunt me in 20 years. Fuck you. I'm not falling for this bait. Not doing it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jack.
You know what? I know what you are doing, and I know what you are doing. Not doing it.
Jack, you know as well as I do that once this whole episode is over, you're going to go and update your grinder. I get it.
It doesn't even exist anymore. It's Tinder. So fuck you.
It's still on there. Don't let
No,
it
it's
fool
not.
you.
Is it? Okay, I'm gonna look
Oh, it's
right
sending
now.
me pictures.
I'm
Are you
gonna look.
serious? You really have one? Oh God, I'm not surprised.
I
at
had
all.
a Tinder.
Is this from like
I had a
one
Tinder.
day that you became gay, so then you made a grinder?
JB, Jack and I are of the same persuasion. We have an understanding. As long as her penis is shorter than ours, girth I'm not worried about, but length is an issue. It's a problem. Yeah, there you go.
It's real.
I
Install.
100%. I believe you. I completely do. So, anyways, we got Maya Rudolph, Tim Meadows, and this is like they said, like the cast in this is all around awesome. Like they got some really cool people in here. Maya Rudolph, I wish we would kind of got more of her.
Tim Meadows is so funny. Tim Meadows is just, I mean, he's like a Black Stanley Tucci. Everything he's in gets elevated because he's there. You know what I mean?
Wait, no. There's only one movie that he probably regrets ever fucking making, and I regret ever fucking seeing.
I know what the movie is.
Okay.
I can't think of it. What is it?
It's Dewey Cox.
Why would he?
What?
Not like
Get
that?
the fuck out! You serious? Okay, now you're trolling. You're trolling.
I can't think of one movie. Like
You're trolling.
his best one is
no.
obviously The Ladies Man.
That is obviously the ladies' man.
Yeah, that's the best one.
That was such a funny skit. You don't even know. My favorite skit of his, and you're right, this will come back to haunt him, by the way. My favorite ladies' man skit was there was someone that called in that was like, yeah, whenever I'm in the men's locker room, I become aroused and I don't know what to do about it. And Tim Meadows as the ladies' man was like, well, I mean, that's a very natural thing to have happen when you're around a bunch of naked men. Might I ask, you sound like a larger woman because you have a very deep voice. And he goes, actually, I'm a man. And the ladies' man just reaches over and click, hangs up. And he goes, I'd appreciate never getting another call like that.
Okay, I agree. You know, Andy, I agree. The skits were fucking amazing. The movie?
Oh, terrible, horrible, hot garbage.
It was still better than Jack and Jill, so
Wait, it's up there. It is really. Oh, speaking of Jack and Jill, dude, I remember watching the premiere. Like I was watching the X Factor, the singing show back in the day, and all the contestants got to go to the premiere of it. And like after they were talking to Adam Sandler, and like they were like, it was so good. And Adam's just like, you're fucking lying. Thank you. You're fucking lying. Like you could see it in his face that he knew his movie sucked ass.
Well,
yeah, Adam Sandler, it doesn't matter. It makes money. That's the thing about Adam Sandler. What was the first Netflix movie he did? The one with the cowboys. I keep wanting to say Hateful Eight, but that's the racist film that Quentin Tarantino did.
It was the regretful Six or something.
Ridiculous Six.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
It was a funny movie.
The next one I really liked, and maybe because like I was like that guy in high school, but I didn't end up like he did. But the Do-Over, I love the Do-Over. Do-Over was a good movie. That was funny.
Yeah, it was. It was funny.
Yeah, and then he did that fucking like I stopped watching it. It wasn't a comedy. I don't think it was he was an agent in Hollywood or some shit. It was bad.
Sandy Wexler.
Yeah, was that Sandy? No.
It had some funny parts. And you know what? As I've gotten to know a couple of publicists in Hollywood, and I'm not talking about the Steve, I'm going to give a plug here, Steve Joyner. Good dude. He's hooked me up with a few people. I'm just going to say a couple of the other publicists I've worked with, very Sandy Wexlerist, and just I don't jive with that type of person, and so I didn't really want to be around them too much. But Sandy Wexler, I'll admit, it was funny. It was a
so should I give it another try, Andy?
Give another try if you want. Adam Sandler's playing a caricature of a real person who I've interacted with, and Yeah,
Okay.
it makes it a little funnier in that way, I guess. The difficult part is, so I'm in Oregon, obviously, boys. I don't live in Portland anymore, but I used to. Watching Portlandia was actually very difficult for us because it would be like, haha, oh, wait, I've been to that store. I recognize that location. That is how it is. And so people like to laugh at that show, Portlandia, because it's so outrageous and just stupider. It's beyond dumb. It's the stupidest thing you've ever seen in your life, unless you live in Portland, and that is your life.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Anyway, let's tie this back over to the movie then.
Wait. This is fun. We're going through his Netflix film, Justin. You don't kill
what are you
it.
gonna do? You're gonna really talk about the next ones? So you got what did you just talk about last? Or Sandy Wexler. So then you got
Do Over.
Well, that was afterwards.
Then they had the murder mystery. I didn't watch that one. I need to watch that one.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems was classic. I like Uncut. It's classic.
No, that's a rare Adam Sandler movie where it is really, really good. That's going to be a timeless classic. Uncut Gems.
It's like Punch Drunk Love. How many people remember that? That one was oh, come on. No, Andy. Don't fail me here.
No, Punch Drunk Love was not a good movie, but Uncut Gems, very good movie.
Yeah, I can agree with that, I guess. But all right, Spanglish.
No,
I couldn't get into that one.
I love stories. I love the way I love the story. I mean, as a father, I love the story. I loved how he was always encouraging his daughter, no matter what. I hated the fact that I don't know. Maybe that was a good drama that not a lot of people like, and as a family man, I relate. I mean, I could. I don't know. I like it.
First off, Bedtime Stories isn't even a drama. It's classified as a comedy family fantasy.
Yeah, no, that's wrong. Absolutely.
That's what they classified it as. Who am I to argue with the person who makes it? But he has his hits and his misses. Obviously, I prefer a lot of his older stuff, like from the 90s.
Sure.
But that's me. To me, he's been on a steady decline. He'll have one or two here and there where he'll pop up and be like, "Well, that's better than I expected." But it's only better than I expected because I've seen Jack and Jill.
Justin.
True. But have you seen his original film, his first film, entitled Overboard?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have it on DVD.
Yeah, I did too. It was like the first $5 DVDs they had at fucking Walmart back in the early 2000s. I got fucking right. I got that.
So if I may, Justin, this is just a personal observation.
All right.
You're one of those people where you get high and you get really in depth. I get high, and back me up, Jack, if you're the same way. I get high and suddenly I'm able to just turn off. Like finally for the day, I just can kind of be like, you know what? I'm just going to absorb whatever I'm watching and take it at face value.
I'm a thinker. I will give you that. I'm a thinker.
You get high and you get prophetic. You're sort of like Snoop Dogg. You get high and then you start conducting business.
Nothing like Snoop Dogg.
Jack and I, we get high to shut off. You get high to like engage.
Oh yeah, like with some of my friends, like get high, and they'll be like, yeah, let's go hit the town and shit. I'm like, what? No, fuck no, I'm out,
motherfucker. Yeah,
yeah, like this is I would actually use it to counter taking medicine, to fall asleep. Because some of the medicine the VA prescribes, at the time, well, it still does. It makes you gain weight and all that stuff, and it knocks you the fuck out. But when I would smoke weed at night for medicinal purposes, I'm good. I'm like,
talk about gaining weight.
Hey, don't mess with the Schneider.
I'm not messing with him. I love him. I personally think his role in this is probably one of his better roles, just for the simple fact that he's just not being crazy and annoying. He actually has a decent role with a good plot point to it. And him and his good buddy, which is my favorite part of the movie, Steve Buscemi, who thinks that he becomes a werewolf, which is probably the funniest part of the movie, at least to me.
That is an M. Night Shyamalan twist, honestly, when you find out that, like, because I mean, they've built him up as like he's the guy,
the killer, yeah.
Yeah, he's the killer,
like,
he's a werewolf, whatever.
Myers,
just, yeah, and then you have the psycho killer that Rob Schneider plays, or whatever he is. He's some kind of a psycho. He's in the ward,
They never say what he even did.
No,
he's been locked up.
I think he killed his family.
It's the Carter.
Well, so when
he
shows up,
yeah,
they don't say what.
Yeah,
he
you know
did.
what? That was a letdown. That was a letdown. No, he fucking Kevin James's character, like they built that plot up that that he was coming back to kill the witness because he was the only one that testified against him by killing these other people, and they built it up, and it just went literally, yeah. Thinking about it, it just went like that, and then the whole interaction of what was really going on with the Steve Buscemi character in the fucking jail. Just chilling there and like he's licking each other. First off, I don't know how the fuck you could stay straight face by someone doing that acting, even though they're like fucking and they're trying to make you laugh. They got some skills to not be laughing the fuck off like that.
You're talking about two people who've been doing weird shit on camera for the last 60 years.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about 60 years. That might be a little bit of an over exaggeration, but
35,
probably not much. At
30,
least, probably like 30.
Yeah.
You boys do bring up a good point, though. I mean, if they really wanted to wrap that plot up, because that is a massive plot hole, it would have been. Here's how I would have reconciled that plot hole. You find out that Steve Buscemi's character is just crazy. He thinks he's a werewolf, but he's not. And it would have been like him looking over at Rob Schneider and being like, once I turn into a werewolf, and then everybody laughs, and Rob Schneider just goes, ha, 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 I kill people. Like that would have been enough for us. We would have just gone, oh, he's a psycho killer.
Right.
But he actually ends up being a good guy wanting to get his best friend back into the prison or the insane asylum. So
Right.
they did a total like fucking 180 on it, and just,
Yeah, definitely. Another one of the cool things, now since we're back from the break, I guess we should talk about. This is one of the things that Jack actually brought to my attention, which is kind of interesting, but I'll let Jack go ahead and explain a little bit more about it since I'm sure he read up on it too.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So the story behind this, guys, is this person is actually, was a newscaster for a station there in Boston. And in her contract, it stated apparently she couldn't do film as this person or as a broadcaster or whatever because of representation of their station. She got fired last week when they found out she was in the film. And she put a whole apology, and stated, she pretty much said, I did fuck up. It was in the contract. I shouldn't have did it, but I did it anyways. But I don't think she's going to have a problem finding another gig. I mean, she's, beautiful.
Right. Yeah. Well, the way they played that out, I'll be honest with you. The first time I watched it, because I did watch this movie twice just because, I like to pay attention to things a little bit more. I guess like Andy said, I'm a thinker.
Pay attention to what?
Yeah.
Well, so when they do this scene, right? And the first time I watched it, they go from her to the weather girl to an outdoor girl. And they're all wearing the same costume.
Harley Quinn.
Well, the first time I watched it, I thought they were all the same person. So she goes from this to an extreme Latino, chula kind of girl. So I was like, oh shit, that is so fucking racist. But then by the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, those are definitely different people. What the fuck is wrong with me? But
you know what? I did bring up something to JB earlier.
And they had that little girl in a Halloween costume of Harley Quinn. That was fucking disgusting.
Yes, I agree. That was as a parent, my daughter, I'm sorry, she will be a princess until she is fucking 35. Daisy Dukes, nope, never heard of them. Nope.
They're in your top drawer, Jack. You showed me earlier.
Yeah, but that's my personal collection. I'm 35. I go with what I just said. Bitch. Anyways,
it's supposed to be for comedic effect, and I understand that, but that did bump me. I did not like seeing this very young girl in that. The only saving grace is it said "Daddy's Little Nightmare,"
Did it?
Instead of going, instead of doing like the raunchy kind of thing, like Daddy's Girl or whatever. Like,
Right.
it was just like a little bit different, just to kind of tame it down just a little bit. I think they knew they were pushing the limits with that. Had to actually change a little tiny bit of it. That's for sure.
And especially with the controversy with the was it the movie Cuties or French series Cuties? You know, they probably took a risk with this one. But there is another point I want to bring up too, and me being a filmmaker and trying to create masks and everything else, copyright laws. Now get this, or Andy, maybe you can answer this. JB had a very good observation. I'm sorry, Ghostface. How the fuck did they get the rights to that? Like that's. I mean, I see that. I see when I watch a movie, I watch it from different perspectives, and as I saw this, I'm like, how the fuck did they get away with it?
So what I'm wondering is most patents and or copyrights, you can't be 80%. And it's an independent adjudication that says whether or not you're 80% of whatever your base material is. And so if they change the face enough to where it's no longer 80% or
no, I would not doubt that Adam Sandler is either friends with, whoever has the licensing rights with this. Well, I don't know who has the licensing rights to it. I don't know who's bought it over the years. I have no idea, so I can't say. So all right,
and they may have never copyrighted the mask either. By the way,
right? Well, they did. But even if they did, it's not.
Yeah,
it's he would just give a percentage of the profits right over, and it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't care.
Yeah,
especially considering it's an Adam Sandler movie, and with the new whole thing with Scream 5 getting,
You mean Scream?
Fuck you, whatever the hell people want to call it. So
I know, fuck that.
If I may, can we just role play here for just a second?
Okay, all right. I'm gonna be the pirate. Andy, you are a.
No, I'm Adam Sandler. I want to use this mask in my movie. Are you ready for this?
No, put your fucking mask off.
I'm the executive.
JB, I'm ringing you up. Ring. Okay, pick up the phone.
Hello.
Hey, fuckface. This is Adam Sandler. How you doing, buddy?
I'm okay. Why the hostility?
Listen, man, I'm on like a short leash here. Okay, so we got to just give me a yes or a no. Netflix is fucking printing money for me. Okay, what is it going to cost me for me to use your Scream mask, quote unquote? Listen, everybody's been using your mask. It doesn't even really matter. I can use it with impunity. Like, you don't give a fuck. I already know that. But hypothetically, what's it going to cost for me to use your Scream mask in my movie?
Give me $5,000. Send over 2 hookers every Friday for a month, and I think we'll call it good.
Done and done, dude. You're gonna get. You remember those frozen corn dogs that you love? I'm gonna send over a case of those. Oh, also your pepperoni pizza hot pockets. Done and done. I am sending you a case of pepperoni hot pockets on top of that, just because you're my boy.
Oh man, I really appreciate that. Feel free to use my Scream mask in your next movie too.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. What a cocksucker. Click.
Yes. I get fucking hot pockets.
That's exactly how that went down.
What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck? I asked a simple question, and you guys just went to this whole drama skit. You know what? From now on, Andy, you're gonna have to pop on every show, and we're gonna role play just something random.
I love a good role play.
Like the cop finding the fucking Wonder Woman costume in Robert Downey Jr.'s closet in the hotel.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about that one.
Really?
I would have to make that one up as I went along with it, which could be even funnier.
Yeah.
if I may, by the way, they did try to interject a little bit of an actual plot in this, which was the kids, the son trying to be cool, which eventually he kind of got cool, I guess. The hot chick that randomly just decided that he was cool. So you'll notice there are 2 things happening here. You have the autistic man being played by Adam Sandler. He gets the hot chick in the end. You also have the son of the hot chick, who's also kind of weird, but does get the hot chick.
Right. She's really
You know-
into fostering kids. She likes things that are broken.
And she did.
Yeah, she likes things that are
That's
broken.
a really
Boom!
way to
You
put
just fucking nailed it. You just nailed it.
Yeah.
That is the reality. She's a
We're
fixer.
in no way, shape, or form saying that those children are broken. That's not, foster kids are not broken. That is not at all what we're saying.
No.
All we're saying is she has an unhealthy need to fix things that she perceives as broken.
Fair. I actually really like that.
You know what,
stole the
Andy? You
words
need to
right
come
out
on
of
here
my
more
mouth.
often and be our conscience here be the voice that we're trying to say.
Make sure to make sure nobody gets a fucking hate crime on them.
I'm just trying to save your Twitter, boys.
Well, I appreciate it, and it pretty much is spot on, like exactly what it is too. And with that underlining story too, you got, like you said, you got the Hubie being the autistic guy getting the girl at the end and everything, but then you get the whole, like the kids, you get them not only being nicer, but actually going out of their way to like help him at certain parts and everything. Like that group of kids are the only ones that is nice to him, and you can tell it's definitely because their mom is the person who's like at least going through and being like he's the nicest person in town. So they're really talking him up and everything. So it's kind of fucked up. Like, and I guess like you really see it in the scene at the school. But those are the only kids that are nice to him in the entire town. Everybody else is an asshole, throwing stuff, calling him names. Like this whole town is just full of pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Like if anything, I'm thinking this movie was made as a way to be like, hey, don't visit Salem. We're a bunch of cocksuckers here.
We judge you by the way you look and act and talk. Yeah.
Like now my views are like Salem people make fun of autistic people. Is that what I'm seeing? Like this whole town made fun of him. Is Salem that hateful of a town?
Right. Exactly. You got some dude that just wants to make everything right. Although, listen, I will be honest. If some dude rolled up with a monitor sash and was like, hey, everybody needs to be safe this Halloween, I would also be just like, fuck you, guy. Get the fuck out of my face. What are you even doing here?
And then you throw a bag of shit on fire
outside
at
my
him.
house telling me to be careful when my parents are right behind me.
So I would probably tell that guy to eat a fat cock if I'm being honest. I would just be like, listen, hey,
Well,
you
I
guy,
mean, you could obviously see he's slow.
You guy in the monitor. Okay, so I actually have a story about that. It's not one that I'm proud of. Many years ago, many moons ago, very pre-COVID. Okay, my wife and I were in a movie theater and we were watching. I think it was the first Avengers movie. No, it was even earlier than that. I can't tell you what the movie was. Man, you know what? It might have been Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes, and there was a dude in front of us that was just like, oh no, don't, I was trying, but like I got fucking heated. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't always this calm. I wasn't always this level-headed, biting my tongue, right? So like I haven't always been so reserved. And so we're in this movie theater and this dude just keeps screaming, oh nope, don't do that. And finally I was like, hey guy, can you shut the fuck up, or is there like some problem that you have with your mouth where you can only make noises during the fucking movie? Like shut the fuck up, please and thanks. And this dude the dude that's sitting next to this guy turns around and goes, hey man, I'm really sorry, like there's nothing I can do, I'm just his caregiver. And it was in that moment that I realized that I was a horrible,
take him outside and teach him a lesson. No.
Yeah, I realized in that moment that I was a horrible person, and I learned a lesson that day, and it was to not get in the face of people, because you never know what they're going to go through. It was a mistake on my part. I'm amazed that my wife even stuck around after that. To be perfectly honest, she found it fucking hilarious.
I bet she did. It's
like you married a female Jack.
She does have the same hands. I'll guarantee you that.
Look at Jack's heart. I'm sure.
Stop.
No. Oh, all right. So, I guess one of the things that we hinted out earlier that we didn't get to yet, that we did want to, get to before we go and start to wrap things up a little bit, is at the end, and this is kind of spoilery, is the is it WTCH, the radio station? We actually get to see what our hosts look like and everything, and it's
that was a great
Shaq doing the sultry female voice, and what's her name? Oh, fuck me, I can't think of it.
I forgot her name.
Either way, yeah, me too. But
Aurora.
That was Shaq's name, and it was Aurora.
Yeah, his wife's name. Did he ever say what his wife's name was?
I don't think so. I can't really. I don't remember, to be honest with you.
It really was an addition on to the skit, though. So I mean, it was funny enough when you roll up and you see Shaq, and he's like, "Oh yeah, baby," and now it's time for, and he's doing the sultry female voice, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's my radio voice." And then his wife rolls in, and she's like, "Hey baby, I made you a sandwich. Are you ready to eat this shit, motherfucker?"
And they're like all over each other too.
Yeah. Adam Sandler says, "Oh, what does your real voice sound like?" And she turns around and she's like, "This is my real voice."
Yeah. I gotta say, I can't even do my voices. I gotta save for tomorrow. But yeah, that was a very good you saw that coming though. That's another trope too. You saw it coming.
What you didn't see was them sharing a sandwich. That caught me off guard.
That was very uncomfortable.
Like how Shaq is from here. He actually, Shaq only lives 45 minutes from me. And sometimes you just gotta
drive over to his house and ask him on tape, like record him and be like, "Hey, can you do that voice?"
You know what?
I'll do all the questions you ever asked.
I'll be like, sir, can you do your voice for me that you did in the movie?
And then you have to ask him to repeat his greatest line from was it Kazam?
Kazam.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Kazam. Yeah. Or
yes.
Right. And another thing, if you ever do get the chance to talk to him, ask him if he ever learned Kung Fu before making the game Shaq Fu. Or was that just him being a big fat phony?
You know what? I like my stature in the community at this moment, what I'm gaining for myself.
You don't want to go start talking shit about Shaq out of nowhere.
Yeah, because that's what I want to do. The local celebrity within the 60 miles of where I live, I want to talk shit about. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea.
That's not a free throw that Jack wants to miss.
Oh, I would.
If anything, I'd be going to his house and be like, "Hey, I'm shooting this movie. You
I wouldn't. Look what he did to Kazam. He didn't make money,
dude. At the time, it was probably a blockbuster.
Wasn't.
Dude, we went to the fucking premiere to see that shit on Friday night when it came out. I remember going.
I went too, but I also remember on opening day being the only motherfucker in the entire place.
What was it? 94. Now you're gonna have to go do your IMDb shit.
Well, yeah, I'm looking it up right now. It grossed 19 million, and they spent 20 million plus advertising.
What?
No, they did not.
My bad. Okay, what about Steel? Do Steel real quick, and then we'll move on.
But come on, dude, you really
do it.
Oh, fuck
Jack,
you.
Listen, JB is pretending that he was upset about being the only person in the theater, which is a horse shit. We know. Yes. Oh, I'm the only person in here. Yes.
No, because I was so young at the time that I sat in the front row. I remember it very, very clearly, and it was the first time I realized, fuck the front row. And I was like, Shaq is a fucking awful genie. All right, you want to talk about Steel, though?
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
So it has a budget of 16 million. Does anybody want to go ahead and throw a guess out there what the gross is?
3. Oh, go ahead.
8 million.
I'm gonna say 3.7.
3.7. That's a very, very specific number, but you are completely wrong. It's actually estimated of 5 to 7 million. So they lost over They lost about $10 million making Steel.
How the fuck are you gonna make a Superman movie, a character based on a Superman, and not have fucking Superman in it, but only reference the Batcave? Fuck you.
Because nobody cares about it. Because if the Superman fans truly cared about that movie, it would have done better. Like how the Marvel fans went together, and Marvel movies did good.
Zack Snyder's Justice League next year.
It's I have no faith in him right now.
Bro, let's stop pretending like we don't all know that Hollywood is just like funneling dirty money through. Okay, realistically, like all of these movies that have huge budgets and then they lose all this money, and you're like, oh, how can Hollywood stick together? They're just laundering fucking money through it. It's all human trafficking. It's all drug money. It's all money coming from foreign sources. We already know this, and we accept that because we're being mildly entertained by these movies that come out. Yes or no?
True. And they probably file bankruptcy and we don't hear about it, so therefore they win back all their money, and then they start fresh each time they have a failure.
Exactly, dude.
That
I
does
learned
not
that from
work
watching
with Steel or Kazam because I did not enjoy either of those movies.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter what you enjoyed or didn't enjoy. They were able to launder $100 million of blood diamond money through that movie. So
Blood diamond money.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's get to the spoiler. This is we're on a tangent here. So if you're watching and you're still listening, we're talking about Hubie Halloween, and the spoiler for it is that the person that's been kidnapping everyone is the mother of Hubie, and she did this to teach people a lesson not to judge her little boy. But the thing is, she was about to fucking murder, and my question is, was she really gonna do it? Wait, freeze.
Yeah,
the most funniest part of the movie, by the way.
Oh, and then she goes and like just disappears.
Yeah, which
I think that's right. There's a callback to earlier in the movie where Hubie's like, "Oh, my great grandmother, blah blah blah." I think they might have witchcraft in their family, and maybe that's what made him autistic.
Also, that's what gives him super speed. It's what gives the mother super strength. Like I talked about at the beginning of the episode, you guys rightfully called me out for spoilers, and I apologize. But the mother moving very quickly, being able to just like yank people into the darkness with no apparent assistance at all. I mean, literally,
and make the most amazing scarecrows.
Yes, dude, and it looked like she was pulling people. It looked like a bungee cord that was attached to a speedboat. I mean, they just were like yoink right out in the air, pulled out, pulled into the darkness. Like obviously, this woman has super strength. She obviously has some kind of extra normal ability. We all know this. That's deceiving. That's what she looks like. But then you look at what she was able to do and able to accomplish. These full-grown, you think that is able to take down a full-grown Ray Liotta on cocaine and vodka? Are you fucking shitting me right now? There is no way that she has taken down no Ray Liotta. Okay, don't even get me started on Tim Meadows and Maya
Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph would have rolled her up like a joint and smoked her ass. Are you fucking shitting me right now? She has superpowers 1000%, and we already saw the superpowers that Hubie was able to kind of showcase during this movie. Okay, he did the whole, oh look, it's Frankenstein, and then they all turned back and he had disappeared. So obviously he has some
telekinetic powers.
I think the witchcraft is in him. The witchcraft sense, I'd say.
It is. So you think it's the witchcraft? I was going to say maybe he's actually part of the Marvel universe and we just don't know it yet.
Next time we'll get
that's what's going to happen next. Someone's going to insert him into the end game, like where they put in Howard the Duck, and it's going to be Huey.
Oh god!
Exactly.
They don't need any more Howard.
he's going to have that ping pong paddle, and he's going to be rolling through one of those portals, just like, oh yeah.
But it's going to be all his characters, like Bobby Boucher, the invincible, dude. He's creating superheroes. He's been doing it the whole time. Bobby Boucher, bro, That's like fucking Hulk, man.
Yeah. People don't ever like to admit it, but that's the long and the short of it. Every time he plays one of these characters where he's like, they're always super strength. They're always able to move faster, jump higher. He might even be an alien. I don't know. It might be the witchcraft. I'll grant you that. Like, imagine. So this is like, Adam Sandler is the Scarlet Witch of his own universe.
Do it. That's it. That is it. Well, Andy,
Fair enough.
Andy, I want to thank you, along with Justin. Thank you so much for coming on tonight and discussing this enjoyable and ridiculous movie about an autistic person. So
yeah, definitely, man. And but before we wrap up, dude, can you go ahead and do us a little favor and tell everybody where they can find you and check you out, and if you have anything new coming up, real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Pardon My Fork is always Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, but the podcast, comes out. Podcast is always available at the same time. You can find it anywhere you find your fine podcasts, like Tale from the Podcast. If you are a subscriber to Tale from the Podcast, just go ahead and pull up or look for Pardon My Fork. You'll pull that right up. Boost, Booze, and Barbecue is another one. We're going to have a crossover this weekend that is the Pumpkin Spice Day 2020, and I'm very excited about it. We're going to be cooking up some amazing stuff. And if you're a fan of holiday cooking or pumpkin spice, you can't go wrong. Come and check it out. Facebook.com/PardonMyFork and Facebook.com/BoostBoozeBBQ. Instagram is @PardonMyFork and @BoostBoozeBBQ. And gentlemen, as always, I love you guys. I'm so glad to hang out with you.
Of course, man. I feel the
Anytime,
same
brother.
way, man. Who else could I, have, my male friend on come and give us pet names? So,
I mean, yeah. I'm gonna have to use it now. The Jack Reach Around Hunter, and now I have to do it on my sets too. Well, no, see, that would be a Me Too thing. So
listen, bro, it worked for Louis C.K. So
No, it didn't.
How did it work out for Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, he did own an island. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Oh no!
Oh my God! All right,
not wrong. So, Jack,
All right.
let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you again,
Thank you,
again, Andy. Man,
Stay in the green room.
Always a fucking pleasure, man. And I'll talk to you here in a few.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you sat through all of our cut downs and every single thing else that we brought to reality that you probably didn't see before, thanks to Andy. And we do appreciate him coming on, and also go check out his podcast, Pardon My Fork, as he said before.
And
my name is Jack Hunter, and where we go one, we go all.
And with that being said, the crypt is closed.